So, coming to you today from my garage at my little workshop area. I wanted to let you guys know I had a very eventful week, as most of you already know. This vlog is going to be a little different. I'm going to have a little real talk with you and let you know what's going on. So, we'll begin, and I'll let you know everything that's going on with me. So, this past Tuesday, after I uploaded my Tuesday vlog, went to work. At the last week, if you remember in my vlog last week, I was working in Atlanta at the Perimeter store. Went in Monday and had a great day, met some wonderful people. Apple hires really great people, if you don't already know that. The store there is wonderful. They actually had opened a new store at Perimeter yesterday. So what I was doing down there was just helping them in their regular daily flow in my position. In their old stores, they prepared to open their new store. Friends, Tuesday morning, I get up, actually upload my vlog. As I was getting ready on Tuesday, I felt my left shoulder felt like I had slept on it wrong. It kind of wrenched it in my sleep or something, and it was just really sore. But that's happened before, no big deal. So I head on into the store, head on into work, and I begin my day. As I'm working on things and helping customers and that sort of thing, I started to notice that the pain in my shoulder started to increase and actually started to spread into my chest area. And then it kind of went up into my jaw near my ear. And I started really just kind of thinking, well, my shoulder is just kind of radiating pain. And I took one customer. During that appointment with that customer, I really started to feel nauseous and dizzy. It was hard to catch my breath. So I kind of in the back of my mind knew what was going on. We've heard of these symptoms before. We've heard people who have had issues talk about, chest pain, shoulder pain, arm pain, neck pain, back pain. In the back of my mind, and I honestly think that, the good Lord was telling me something's wrong. So I told the folks at Perimeter, I need to go get this checked out. It's probably nothing, maybe nothing, but I need to go get it checked out. Start heading to my car. In my mind, I'm thinking, if it's something I don't really want to get stuck down in Atlanta, we have a wonderful, probably one of the best heart centers in the Southeast in Gainesville, Georgia, the Ronnie Green Heart Center. World-renowned physicians and surgeons and, the folks at Ronnie Green have done wonderful work for lots of people. So I'm thinking in my mind, hey, if I'm having a heart attack, there's nowhere else I'd rather be than, in my hometown and with the best possible care I can get. So I call my wife, she's a teacher. I was letting her know I'm having an issue. Probably nothing, but I need to get it checked out. I'm getting in the car. I'm heading to Gainesville. She's like, Kim, you don't need to drive to Gainesville. Northside Hospital is 5 minutes from where you are. You need to head over there and go in the emergency room and tell them what's going on. Luckily, for those of you who know my wife and me, we sometimes listen to each other, sometimes we don't. Luckily for me, I listened to my wife. Headed over to Northside. The pain was really increased by then. Had a hard time breathing. I knew something was up. I get in the emergency room, tell them, look, I may be having a heart issue. I'm not sure, but I'm having pain. Immediately, the emergency room nurse got me in a room, did an EKG, ran out of the room, and about 10 people came in. The emergency room physician said, your EKG is not looking too cool. We're going to run some blood tests and then go from there. 5 minutes later, she comes back. She goes, Mr. Kraft, you're having a heart attack. I am not the first person to have a heart attack. I know that. And I won't be the last. But when you hear those words, it just flies over you. I'm having a heart attack. I mean, I've heard of this. I know people who've had heart attacks. I know people who I've had uncles who died from heart attacks. So, I'm thinking in my mind, well, I'm going to freak out, but I didn't. I was very calm. And they immediately rushed me to the cardiac floor at Northside Hospital, where a wonderful doctor, I wish I could remember his name. I'll link it below if I'll find out his name and link it below. But he jumped right into action. He told me everything he was going to do. So what they did was they made a small incision in my groin area and ran a conduit up the main artery from my groin up to my heart. They were able to fairly quickly find a 100% blocked artery, one of the three that feeds into the heart. It wasn't the center one, the one that they call the Widowmaker. It was the one to the right of that. He was immediately able to do the balloon angioplasty and insert a stent. And folks, I'm telling you, immediately when that stent was in place and that blood started to flow, the doctor said, take a deep breath. I took a very deep breath. Almost immediately, the pain was gone. So, I felt so good. I was like ready to get up, ready to go home. And that wasn't the plan. Obviously, I had to spend a couple of days in ICU at Northside. And I can't emphasize enough how wonderful those folks at Northside were. They took extremely good care of me, I'm sure, as they do everybody. I literally owe my life to those folks. They saved my life. They saved my life. They took care of me. They got me to where I could come home. A few days after the heart attack, I was able to come home. So glad to be home. But I've got a little work to do. I've got a little rehabilitation to do. I've got I got to get my strength back. As of when I left the hospital, the test showed that my heart was operating basically at about 38 to 40% of what it should be. So I've got to get that built back up. Otherwise, I feel fine. If I'm sitting down, really not doing much, I feel wonderful. I don't feel sick. I don't feel really any ill effects. But when I get up and move around, I get a little wind. I have appointments with my regular doctor and a cardiologist in Gainesville on Monday. I'll post this on Tuesday. I'll know more once, we have a chance to talk to them and sit down and get a game plan together. Folks, it was really scary. In my mind, I was thinking, if it's my time to go, I'm ready. I know where I'm going. But at the same time, I was thinking, I'm not ready. I don't want to leave my wife. I don't want to leave my family. I have 2 sons, and I want to be able to spend time with them, spend time with my friends who, sadly, I'm not the best person to stay in touch with. But, I'm going to try to get better at that. When something like this happens, your friends, your family, man, they just swarm into action. We had so many people offering to help us out, from little things like bringing us meals to, we had offers for people to come clean our house, any yard work, and if we had pets, they were going to take care of those. And it's just, I love you guys. I can't express it enough. I love every one of you, and you guys all know who you are. It's a wonderful feeling to know you're not alone. My wife, who's a trooper, this was, I'm sure, more hard on her than it was for me, because basically I got to lay around and people waiting on me hand and foot, and she's handling things with HR for my work, and she's doing all the legwork, and well, you guys know how I feel about my wife. I love her, and she's the world to me. One of the reasons I didn't want to leave. The thing I want to say, after all this that I've told you, the thing I want to say is God left me here for some reason. And it wasn't my time. For that, I'm very appreciative. And I'm very thankful. God, again, shows mercy and grace and love and healing. And I'm not trying to get too preachy, but I know when they put the stent in and my blood started to flow through that blocked artery, and I felt so much better. Immediately I knew I'm left here for some reason. And I'm going to spend every day for the rest of my life trying to figure out what that reason is. And hopefully it'll come to me clearly, but if not, that is something that I'm praying every morning and searching for every day. Why was I left here? You know, I'm a regular guy. I feel like I'm a pretty good guy. I take care of people. I help folks out when I can. But there's got to be a reason that it just wasn't my time this time. And I'm going to find that reason out. And you guys, you know, we'll continue to do this vlog as long as I can. And I will keep you updated on my progress. Probably, I don't know, maybe I have some new vlog material on my rehab. So hopefully that'll help some people out. I just can't say enough. Again, I know I'm not the first person to have a heart attack or have any kind of major issue where, you know, you basically see your life flash before your eyes. That happens every day. I know that. I know that I'm not singled out for any specific thing, but I just know, I just feel like, you know, the good Lord left me here for a reason, and I need to find out what that reason is. So that's where I am. I will be back on the motorcycle as soon as I'm given clearance to, and there'll be some more vlogs, some more fun vlogs coming. But I guess maybe for the next couple of vlogs or few vlogs from now, probably be rehabbing from a heart attack. If it bores you and it's, you know, the next month or so, you can kind of skip it. If not, I hope you'll go along with me, and I'll explain everything that's going on, and I'll keep you up to date on my progress, and we'll go from there. I love every one of you, and I'm happy to be here. I really am. And I hope to foster those friendships that I've had for a long time that I've somewhat neglected. I really do want to be a better friend, a better father, better husband, better brother, and just a better person all around. So that's my goal. And maybe that's all I'm left here for, is just to be a better person until it's my time. But that's where I'm at. Love you all, and see you in the next vlog next Tuesday. Okay. Even though I had a heart attack, I'm not going to miss the vlog. So, all right. See you guys soon. And sorry to be, you know, such a low key kind of vlog this time, but I promise they'll get more fun as we move along. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
You're too healthy looking to be in a heart doctor's office.
I'm Kim.
Let me start with the good news. Your echo looks good.
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 And you have a strong pump, and you have no evidence of any segment that's not moving. So I'm throwing that out there.
Okay, great.
Having said that, you're how old?
55.
You're my age. You don't smoke.
No, sir.
Never did.
No, sir.
And family history of heart trouble?
Uncle on each side have passed away with heart
High
attacks.
cholesterol in
No
the
high
past?
cholesterol.
Never had high cholesterol.
But high blood pressure.
And his mom.
When I heard Maggie say that, because she was, you know, I was going over your chart in my computer,
Mm-hmm.
I told her I need to go have a stress test, because it just freaked me out that you seem to have played by the rules, and ended up with that issue. But that's partly genetic. And you just were going about your business and started having chest pain?
Shoulder pain, then chest pain, then it kind of started going up my jaw.
And you went to the emergency room at Northside?
Yes, sir.
He said, I think I've got a little issue. And I said, it sounds like you're having a heart attack possibly, and you need to go to the hospital. And he said, no, I don't want to get stuck down here. I'm going to just go home and go. And I said, no. So he listened to me for once in his life.
Yep.
So listen to your wife.
I don't think from now on you're going to have a problem with it.
I don't think so.
I saw you in the emergency room and took you straight to the cath lab.
Yes.
So if you had ST elevation, either way, they did the right thing by taking you in. They must have seen ST elevation on the EKG. Your pain was ongoing when you got there, right?
Yes, sir.
How have you felt since you gone home?
I feel good. I
No
mean,
issues.
no issues. I get a little winded when I'm up for,
Your blood pressure is still high,
yeah,
and that I don't like. And the pulse is elevated, and I think the objective from treating with the beta blocker is not only to make sure the blood pressure is good, but also to make sure the pulse is at at a calm level, and a
Sure.
pulse of 90 is not quite there.
right.
So I think what we need to do is double up on your Coreg and make that 50 twice a day. Now Coreg is a new pill for you, correct?
Yes, sir. And a beta blocker, I have an essential tremor.
Okay.
The beta blocker was Inderall.
And they switched it down to Coreg.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. I do not want to see a diastolic in the 90s, and your diastolic is 94 today, 144 over 94. So let us go ahead and make the Coreg a full 25 milligrams twice a day. Besides that, it's just going to be a function. You're on Lipitor 40, which is, as you well know, we advocate nowadays what we call high statin therapy, meaning regardless of what the numbers look like, sometimes we have people whose cholesterol is reasonable and they come in and they have blockages. The new recommendation is for high statin therapy or high intensity statin therapy, and the high intensity would be Lipitor 40 or 80. So you're on 40, and that's good enough for now until
Okay.
we repeat some numbers and go
Sure.
from there.
Okay.
You're on the Brilinta, is that
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
aspirin. So make sure there's no interruption there.
Sure.
But they wanted him to follow up first before, and then the light.
What we will do though is we will do a regular treadmill test
Okay.
at the 4-week mark
Okay.
from the day that the attack happened, which is what, another
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
And at that point we do the treadmill just to document that the heart rhythm is doing okay on the machine, and that is your release to start your rehab,
Okay.
and then it becomes an automatic process from there.
Okay.
So you're with Apple.
Yes.
It's not a subsidiary or not a.
I'm
okay.
with Apple.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
This is
walks
what I do.
from
I
Macy's over to.
love to
you know,
walk. So I park strategically where I walk a half a mile into work and a half a mile back, and I'm on my feet all day.
And you've been doing that for some time.
5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
But the whole idea is that even we scratch our heads when we think somebody played by the book and
Right.
they ended up with this.
But I think the fact that he did play by the book may have helped him.
Oh
a
yeah,
little
oh
bit,
absolutely.
You know, that,
And I think there was a guy, I was still in Alabama, who just like you, very corporate looking and very, new age, and does yoga and works out and never smoked and eats healthy, and sometimes our instincts kick in and we feel like there's something we don't like about, maybe I can't remember what one feature of his pain I didn't like. I'm not gonna fool with doing a stress test. Let's go ahead and do a cath on him. And oftentimes we would be betting with ourselves what we're going to find. And I was thinking, okay, he's going to be normal. He had open heart surgery the next
Oh
week.
my God.
So sometimes there is that unmeasurable component which has to do with your genetic makeup.
Mhm.
And that may very well be what happened in your case if you have a family history. And that's not measurable.
Sure.
You can't put a statistical number on it. In your case, you're on the right track. We control the blood pressure. You keep working on your diet.
Right.
You're okay just doing regular activities until you get your treadmill.
Okay.
Yeah. Just don't start walking for exercise.
No.
Just like you came here today. That's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Okay.
And it is conceivable that before he got his episode, that he may have been having,
Yeah.
some symptoms that he
Yeah.
was discarding as.
right. Well, we
I don't know if you were
One-
having any shoulder pain. You were thinking it
I
was.
wasn't, but one
arthritis.
thing that I noticed that I didn't even think about until I got home was for the past couple of months when I would lean over to tie shoes, I would really almost lose my breath.
Yet when you walk through the parking lot, that doesn't
No
bother you.
problems. No problems. No.
Yeah. Well, you'll be the judge on how much better you feel.
Yeah.
I feel better. I really do. I feel.
You can tell the difference
Yeah.
already. Well,
As soon as he got it in, the pain went away.
Yeah.
It was like, this is a miracle.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the rewarding feeling we get, especially when you get up in the middle of the night and now we have to there are certain criteria you have to meet in terms of when you hit the door of the emergency room to the point where we open up the artery, we have 90 minutes or less.
Oh, wow.
So imagine, you know, in the middle of the night you get the phone call as a physician and by then obviously the patient has been in the ER a few minutes. You
Right.
have 90 minutes from your bed to have opened up the artery
Right. Oh,
if it's during the night.
yeah.
So we all had that routine, at least in my case. You spring out of bed, you put your scrubs on, you
Right.
put the mug in the microwave,
Yes.
you make an instant coffee because you have to get perked
Sure.
up. You drink it while you're on the road.
Yeah.
You call the cath lab. You say, take the patient to the lab. You meet them up there. You stick. You go up. You open the artery. It has to be 90 minutes.
Wow.
So
If anything cool came out of this whole thing, my wife got me these really neat Captain America sleep pants. I may even wear these back to work when I go back to work. Sweet.